There is a quiet epidemic moving through families, friendships, and spiritual communities right now. It doesn't make headlines. It doesn't arrive with statistics. It doesn't come with sirens. It arrives as silence. Unanswered messages. Empty holidays. Birthdays that pass without acknowledgement. Years that dissolve without closure. We call it boundaries. We call it self-protection. We call it choosing myself. Sometimes that's true, and sometimes it's relational exile disguised as empowerment. Most estrangements don't begin with hatred. They begin with overwhelm, with unspoken hurt, with accumulated misunderstandings, with shame no one knows how to name, with nervous systems pushed past capacity. People rarely leave because they stop caring. They leave because caring hurts too much. So they choose distance over vulnerability, control over uncertainty, narratives over nuance. And slowly, without ceremony, love becomes unsafe. Estrangement is not only emotional, it is neurological, it is cellular, it is spiritual. The body registers abandonment the same way it registers physical threat. Tight chest, shallow breath, chronic vigilance, collapse. Even when the mind says, "I'm fine, I've moved on." No, you haven't. You've learned how to survive without being seen. That's not healing. That's adaptation. Here's the truth most people avoid. You can be wounded and still responsible. You can need distance and still cause harm. You can protect yourself and still grieve what you lost. You can love someone and not be able to be in relationship with them. Both things can exist. Only mature souls hold both. We live in a culture that confuses sovereignty with severing. If something hurts, cut it off. If someone disappoints you, block them. If conflict arises, disappear. That's not empowerment. That's dissociation wrapped in spiritual language. True sovereignty doesn't erase connection. It clarifies it. There is a particular grief reserved for those who mourn people who are still alive. No funerals, no rituals, no permission to collapse. Only quiet, endless absence. And you are told to let it go, as if love were disposable, as if bonds were casual, as if souls forget. They don't. Healing does not mean reconciliation at all costs. It does not mean returning to unsafe dynamics. It does not mean self-betrayal for peace. Healing means coming home to yourself after you were made to doubt your worth. Reclaiming your voice after you learned it was inconvenient. Softening your heart without reopening old wounds. Holding love without surrendering truth. I'm not here to tell you to reunite. I'm here to invite you to remember. Remember who you were before you learned to armor, before you learned to disappear, before you learned to numb. Return to that self. From there, clarity arises naturally. Sometimes it leads back. Sometimes it leads forward, but it always leads to truth. Not fixing others, not rewriting history, not pretending it didn't matter. This is the real medicine. Remaining human in a world that rewards hardness. Remaining open in a culture of withdrawal. Remaining sovereign without becoming isolated. That is balance. That is healing. That is the path home. And if you are living inside estrangement, know this: you are not weak for missing them. You are not foolish for loving deeply. You are not broken for feeling the ache. You are remembering something sacred, and that remembering is already healing.